Hello, welcome to More Faith with Keisha. My first name is Keisha and my last name is Moore. And on this channel, we talk all things, most things, faith. I love to give my faith testimonies to motivate, encourage, and inspire you to keep the faith. And on this video, I want to talk about basically when I want to hear from God. What are some things that I put in place in my life when I feel like I'm not hearing from God clearly like I was, or I don't know what to do in the next season? I need steps, I need directions. Like, I just need to hear from God. Um, Sometimes we get distracted with everything that's going on around us. It can be work, it can be family, it can be friends, it can be coworkers, it can be children, it could be anything. But when you want to hear from God, you have to shut out the noise so that you can hear from Him. Let me give you an example. I don't have children, but I have nieces and nephews, and some of you may have children. When your child is in the room, they are playing their video game or they're listening to their music. They have their headphones on, and you're calling that child because you want to give them some direction. You want to tell them, like, hey, we're about to leave in 10, 15 minutes, like you're giving them a plan for the day. But they can't hear you because they have noise in their ears. If they cut out the noise, take off the headphones, stop watching the TV, turn off the music, and when you're calling them, then they can hear what it is that you're saying. It's the same thing with God. When we are so distracted and consumed with everything else, and we're not taking out the time to pray, we're not taking out the time to have our quiet time, we're not taking out the time to read the word, because you get to know God through His word and the things that go on around us, which is His creation. When we're not taking out the time to do these things, we can't even hear from God. And that's where the confusion comes in. There was a point in my life where I felt stuck. It was like, man, like, I don't know what to do. I feel like God is telling me to do something, but I'm not sure. I'm not clear about it. Whenever I get to that point, I go into isolation mode. I send a text message to all my family and friends that are very close to me, and I let them know, like, hey, I will not be communicating with anyone for a week. Just so they know that I'm safe. But if it's an emergency, reach out to me. I let them know, and then I go on a fast. I fast. It could be for a few days. It doesn't have to be for the whole week. A fast for a whole day where I'm not eating food, drinking certain drinks. I may just be drinking water. In addition to that, I make sure that I'm praying like several times a day. In addition to that, I am not watching anything. Like, I'm actually taking out the time to focus on getting rid of the distraction so that I can hear God. When we're not hearing God, it's because it's something that we are doing or something that we're not doing, because God is always speaking, but are we listening? So when I've done that in the past, just went into my isolation, after the 7 days, I came out like renewed, refreshed, revived. I felt like I had fellowship with God. We were talking like we used to. Get back to that time where it was just you and God, and you didn't have anybody else. Don't forget about the time where it was just you and Him. Don't take that time for granted. And after the 7 days of fasting, I would just feel renewed, revived, like I knew what God wanted me to do, because I wasn't listening to anything else. I wasn't listening to anyone else. So I was able to hear God clearly. So if you're in a season in your life and you feel like you don't know what steps to take, you don't know what to do, you don't know what direction, I just submit to you, go into a 7 day like isolation or whatever God is telling you to do. Cut out the noise in your life. If you're married, if you have children, I know that that's easier said than done, but just have a conversation with your spouse, and then just tell your friends and family and people around you so that they can be praying for you as well. But it is very important to hear the voice of God, because with God comes direction, comes clarity, comes peace. you know I have not been in a situation where I've been so close to God and I didn't have peace. My lack of peace came when, again, I was hearing from everyone else and everything else, but not from God. So I want to encourage you to just take out the time to seek God with all your heart, with all your might, with all your strength. Get in His Word, pray, also be you know, really committed. Just really committed and be transparent with God in the areas of your life that are weak, in the areas of your life where you feel like you cannot talk to God. You can talk to God about anything. There's been times in my life where I was angry. I wanted to go off. I used to have a cursing problem. I used to really curse and curse people out, but God delivered me from that. And there's been times where I was so mad and I'm like, oh gosh, like, please help me because I don't want to go back. I feel like cursing this person out or doing this and that. And then God would just give me peace. So I just want to encourage you to focus on hearing the voice of God for yourself through an intimate relationship with God for yourself and not through anyone else. All right. Keep the faith and stay blessed. Bye.